WSMV4 Investigates has uncovered new details about what we first showed you here. Canisters of propane tanks stored on the 4th floor of the downtown library's parking garage.
It was in the storage area that fire investigators say an explosion occurred. This happened back in June, shutting down the parking garage to this day.
Oh, it's been a huge story. And now Chief Investigative Reporter Jeremy Finley has uncovered Metro agencies had no idea the fuel was even being stored there, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's a constant source of frustration for people whose vehicles burned in that explosion. Now we've confirmed that neither Metro codes nor the Nashville Fire Marshal's office granted a permit for that kind of fuel to be stored there. From the outside, it didn't look promising for the McChesneys from San Antonio, whose truck was parked inside the downtown library parking garage. This was their vantage point from where they stood on the ground outside. So you see the colorful panels. They then looked up and could see how the explosion and fire just charred the outside. But by chance, they thought they saw a photo of their truck inside. So we flew our drone over it.
And I was like, holy crap, that is my truck, because I know exactly where I parked it.
I almost hate to ask folks, but how many miles did it have on it?
Under 5,000.
With their brand new truck now reduced to only its frame.
Big old thick aluminum wheels are just totally melted.
They saw our reporting last week, revealing video from inside the garage and the canisters of propane tanks stored on the 4th floor beneath a ramp that would ultimately buckle and collapse. If you had known that that fuel was stored there, would you have parked in that garage?
Oh, heck no. No way. Absolutely no way.
The fuel was stored there by Block, a subcontractor for the Nashville Downtown Partnership, which manages the building. But that got me thinking, the garage is actually owned by the Nashville Department of Transportation, essentially making it a Metro-owned building. So, was there a permit to store the fuel in the garage? The answer is no. Neither Metro codes nor the Nashville Fire Marshal's office granted a permit for storage of fuel in the garage. I'm just trying to figure out if something went wrong.
I can't speak to whether something went wrong or right. I just know that the plans that were submitted to us, there was no fuel storage designed to be there.
So here's where things get really interesting. I asked for an interview with the Nashville Downtown Partnership about the lack of permit, which they declined. But they wrote in an email, to our knowledge, Block did not store any items in the library garage that would require permits. Permits for fuel storage are only required for containers of specific sizes, not fuel in general. So wait a minute. All these propane tanks stored here, which is where the explosion originated, doing all this damage, didn't require a permit? They could just keep it here, next to where families parked? That's baffling to the McChesneys.
That was pretty shocking when the stuff came out, I guess, about a week ago, the propane tanks. I'm like, for real.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are baffled by this, Jeremy. I mean, surely the Nashville Fire Department has some kind of regulation for, storing propane in Metro buildings.
Yeah, Lauren, in the city's permits section online, I did find that permits are required for propane storage, and it has conditions depending, once again, on the volume of the fuel. So the last time the parking garage was inspected by the Nashville Fire Marshal's office, 2020. Only one company knows for sure how much fuel was being stored there prior to the explosion. Block. I asked their spokesman, just how much propane were they storing there? The statement he issued to me did not address the question. And I'm going to keep asking these questions until we get an answer. Tracy?
All right, we are waiting. Thank you, Jeremy Finley.